Just about an hour and change till real NFL football action. Rams versus Bills. Of course, a full slate of NFL games Sunday, starting at 1 o'clock, as Scott Hansen would say, possibly 7 hours of commercial-free football if you're a red zone guy, including our beloved Philadelphia Eagles. Matt, hello, sir.
What's going on?
Not much, man. We got a real Eagles game to sink our teeth into this
Football's
show
back,
here.
baby. I mean,
Football's back, man.
nothing better.
Nothing better. We got an Eagles-Lions matchup to break down. Of course, Tom Kelly with us producing the show today. Matt and I will take a long look at the rest of the NFL. We'll go sort of division by division, share our thoughts on how those are going to shake out with a bit of a extra focus on the NFC in particular. Get to that in just a minute. We're prepared to offer our official predictions for who will be in and winning the Super Bowl. So you might want to write that down, take notes. We're going on record today. And of course, we're going to go through the Eagles' schedule here. We have not officially done that. We'll get on record for our win-losses there. We got it all for you right here. And of course, I'm going to have to give you a dumbass of the day. You're going to want to stay tuned for that. But let's start here, Matt. So, monumental expectations for this season. You got Miles Sanders talking about Dream Team. You got people calling the radio stations saying the words Super Bowl. And then you had Jason Kelce, of course, yesterday saying, expectations don't mean squat. We got to go out and we got to win things. Matt, you like to lay a wager down every once in a while on a nice NFL game. So you would say that you respect the doings of the odds makers at Las Vegas? Would you say
with the Eagles win totals?
Well, just in general, like
They know what the hell
they know what they're doing.
Over college football over the weekend, so many of the lines were literally right
dead on, by like a half a point. It's actually unbelievable. Now they're not always right. I think last season they had the Eagles at maybe 6.5 wins, and we ended up going over that by a few. So, I want to get your thoughts on this because there's something that's really bothering me about the season. There's just one thing that's really left that's bothering me when it comes to the expectations. The Eagles over-under for Vegas is set right now at 9.5 wins. It's been that way for quite some time now. Given the
their odds have gone up to win the NFC East too during that
time. They have. Now the 9.5 though has sort of has held firm, and even that's staying there given expectations from fans and bettors. Now a lot of money's come in on that over total, yet Vegas hasn't budged. Does that kind of seem to you like an invitation to say come on in and bet that over?
It kind of does. I mean, I guess they're just kind of whoever's making those odds under the interpretation that our two biggest question marks on the team realistically are our head coach and our quarterback, which is the two most important parts of the football team. I mean, the roster's stacked for sure, but you never know in this league. It could just take Sirianni having a bad year, Hurts having a bad year, and everything could go differently. So it doesn't surprise me that much that they kept the number the same.
Okay. So you mentioned the two question marks, one of them being Sirianni. The biggest one, I think we both agree, is the quarterback, Hurts. We know that he's sort of bumping up against what might be some contract extension talks coming up either, next year or we'll see how he performs. I guess my question to you would be, do you have were you thinking of some kind of specific goal for Jalen Hurts to achieve this next season that would make you feel comfortable in paying him? Is there a number you could put to it?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to put stats to it.
Right.
I would just say he needs to clearly have taken a stride in developing, hitting guys on timing routes, making the right reads, not ducking from the pocket and rolling right every time his first read isn't there. It needs to be more. You see more of that stuff, more of this arm strength downfield. I can't really put a number on stats because he could have a solid year stats wise, but you're oh well, he really was kind of just doing the same thing as last year.
I think a good way.
The stats were solid last year. They weren't anything crazy, but they weren't bad by any means.
I think a good way to put it would be it when you saw it.
100%. Yeah.
So I think if we
eye test, total eye test,
definitely eye test. You'll go out there and you've seen him run through the reads, at a much higher level and quicker pace than he was able to do last season. Then you maybe you have something there. Maybe you feel a little bit more comfortable paying him. Now, sort of going off that question there, I think there's sort of two philosophical ways that you can look at the way the offense should operate this season. And we just talked about Jalen Hurts and seeing improvement out of him. Now, the Eagles obviously won a lot of games last season when they flipped their offensive script to running the football a ton. I mean, they ended up being a 70-30 team, just pounding the rock behind that offensive, that monster offensive line, and they were just running down people's throats. People could stack the box on them, and they were saying, "Go right ahead. We're just going to run right down your throat anyway." That was that was their bread and butter last season. Now, I know there's a lot of fans out there that want to go into this season and see that improvement out of Jalen Hurts. They want to see him become more of a pocket passer. They don't want him to stop running per se, but they want him to keep his eyes down the field and become a quarterback that you can rely on to win you a game when you go deep into the playoffs. I guess what I would ask you, it's a weird way to sort of phrase the question is, would you prefer that the Eagles sort of go out this season, just do what it takes to win, whether that means just running the football and not really trying to see what you really have in Jalen Hurts for the future? I think you're kind of more focusing on the now when you run the ball and trying to focus on the future if you go into the season trying to throw the ball. How would you approach it if you were the
Yeah,
offensive
so I mean,
coordinator?
as an NFL team, especially with the Eagles, kind of have an older roster.
Mhm.
You're going to try to win now,
Yeah.
and the running game's probably what's going to help that. But I feel like you need to see what you have in Hurts and if he's the guy to make those strides in the passing game. Because I kind of look at the Ravens as an example. Like the Ravens have been one of the most dominant teams in the league since Lamar's been there over the last 5 years. Harbaugh's a great coach, and right now they're kind of hesitant to pay even him, who's been way more
Yeah.
proven than Hurts. And you kind of look at it like they don't show up in the playoffs, and everyone is always like, oh yeah, well it's hard to win a Super Bowl, which it is, but it's not even like they're being competitive. Like the Bills losing the playoffs, they're battling teams in the high 20s, 30s. Like
Yep.
the Ravens are going in as a 1 seed, then losing like 28-10 to the Titans. Then the next year they go in and they beat the Titans like 17-10, and then they score 3 points against the Bills. Like they're not even like they're not. It's not like they're like, oh, if there was that one play that went another way, they would have made it to the AFC Championship. Like they're not even competing in the
Yep.
playoffs, and they're one of the best teams in the regular season. I think for NFL defensive coordinators, like the ones that are especially a playoff coach, they know how to stop the run way easier than they know how to stop the pass. So if you're like Lamar and they're just running the ball 50 times a game, yeah, it's going to be way easier to stop than if they're throwing the ball over the field.
Yeah, you're 100% right in the fact that it's just a different animal in the playoffs when it comes to how you're gonna have to go about winning games. Like the other opposing defensive coordinators are gonna force you to do the things that you don't
It
that,
turns into like
that
the
you're not good
biggest
at.
chess match there is.
Right, and you saw what the Bucks defensive coordinator last year yelling, "He can't read, he can't read." I mean, they knew what they needed to do to stop Jalen Hurts and get him, get him off his feet and all that. But I've been kind of looking at this team in the season, and we just kind of talked about Jalen Hurts and the contract situation. This might be the best roster that the Eagles are able to put around Jalen Hurts,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
ever, considering the
yeah.
fact that you might have to pay him, like, tie up a lot of money to his contract.
I mean, you really don't. There's not many holes on the team. Like,
There's not.
I guess you could say linebacker, but I mean, Kazir White seems like such a great addition. TJ Edwards making strides. Like,
Yeah.
you had the safety issue, just got Gardner Johnson. Like,
Yep.
there's really not many holes, if any, at all in this roster.
And
Backup running back. Backup running back might be the only hole I see.
Yeah, I've seen reports that Gainwell wasn't really impressing in camp,
Yeah.
but I liked the way he ran last year. So I'm gonna wait till the season plays out a little bit to give him a chance. But I have seen a lot that there's not been a lot of good things to say about Gainwell.
Yeah, and that's a shame because he's really the guy that you need to step up and become that pass
Yeah,
catcher
because
out
let's
of the back
be real,
out of the
Miles
backfield.
Miles is
the
gone
guy.
next year too.
Yes, he is. And
Yeah.
actually, I had a question for you about Miles in just a minute there. But I think that without question, this team needs to do what it takes to try and win now and go as far as they can in the playoffs. I mean, look, they end up with a high draft pick and what I think is probably going to end up being a higher draft pick from the Saints too, as in high in number, not high in the order. Then I mean, it's going to be tough for them to go out and get that QB
I kind of
anyway.
think the Saints are gonna have a disaster year. A
Really?
lot of people are really high on them. I kind of see
Okay.
them being a dumpster fire.
So we'll talk about
First
that.
year without
in-
Sean Payton.
Yeah, right. We'll talk about that in just a minute too. So let's how about we put the birds off to the side for just a second here. We'll get back into the matchup. I'll toss you a trivia question we'll have fun with too, bringing that back for the season. And no, I did not forget our dumbass of the day. You're not going to go anywhere for that. For now, let's take a look at the entire NFL landscape there, Matt.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah,
real
go
quick?
ahead. Yep.
In our Snap group, our cousin Greg just said, "I'm
God.
going to get a mani pedi during the Birds game."
Oh, lovely.
I responded, "Blows."
Man card revoked. That's brutal, Greg.
That's rough.
All right. We're going to share our thoughts on how each division is going to shake out here and who comes out on top. We'll toss out wild card teams,
Yeah.
Super Bowl matchups, champs, stuff like that. Let's
Yeah.
have a little
I
bit
got
of
this
fun
all
with
on
that, shall we?
paper on my that I took a picture of. Too.
There you go.
Got
There
it
you
all
go.
ready to roll, baby.
You love an organized guy right there. All right. Let's start with the AFC.
Okay.
And I'll save the best one for last in the AFC there. Let's start with the South.
Okay. you want to go first or me?
Yeah. So real quick, I'll just kind of give you what I think real quick about some of the other teams and who I think finishes first. I think the Titans take a little bit of a step back this season. I don't think the Jags are quite ready to compete with Doug and Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
And the Texans, the Texans have probably the worst roster in the NFL. I think the Colts almost take that division by default.
Okay.
So what do you think?
So I have records for each too. So I have 1 through 4 records.
Wow.
So I'm gonna go from 4th up. So I have Texans 2-15 finishing in 4th. Titans also on a fall off year, 5-12 finishing 3rd.
Wow.
Indy finishing 2nd at 7-10, and the Jags taking the division under 500 at 8-9.
Wow.
8-9.
Jags
8-9, and they get annihilated whoever they play. So I think this is the worst division in football.
Yeah,
sure.
I think so too. And man, so I'm assuming you have them as a 7th seed.
Kyle, I just love Doug P too.
Dougie
and
P.
I'm also very high on Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I mean, he just was in a disaster situation last year. He's got it all.
It is weird because
he's got it all to be the guy.
Yeah, people forget. I mean, he was like one of the best prospects to come out of college.
Yeah, I think he's going to turn a lot. People are going to be like, "Oh yeah, this guy was supposed to be good." And I just think it's inevitable. Like, there's no way he's going to be bad. At worst, he'll be an average quarterback.
We're gonna find out if Dougie P is the QB guru that we had once thought he was. All right, AFC North. So I don't think the Browns are going to be able to escape the Deshaun Watson thing being gone for 11 games this season. The Browns are my obvious candidate to finish 4th. I think the Steelers might be a little bit better than people think this season, but I have the Bengals taking a little bit of a step back, but I still have them ahead of the Steelers. I have the Ravens winning that division. I mean, the Ravens just got destroyed by injuries last season by not only Lamar, and they lost.
Lamar capped it off. They were still winning, and then that was like the icing on the
cake. They lost 3 running backs before week 1 last season, which is just outrageous.
I think Marcus Peters missed a lot of time too.
Yeah.
They're just always
Bengals Super Bowl loser hangover. I think they start a little bit slow, and we just talked about it a little bit earlier. Lamar knows how to rack up wins in the regular season, so going Ravens.
So this is another one that's kind of one of my crazier predictions in the AFC North. So in 4th, I got the Bengals on a massive Super Bowl hangover, going 5-12.
Whoa!
I'm not high on the Bengals. I think that they had a Cinderella run last year, and it's just all going to come crashing down this year.
Man.
Then I got the Browns at 8-9. I did make these predictions. I made these in probably around week 1 of preseason. So Watson was still only going to be 5 or 6 games at the time. I'd probably bump them down to 7-10 now. Then I got the Steelers going 9-8 just because Mike Tomlin literally does not go under 500.
Yep.
And they have a great team. They just don't have a quarterback. And who knows, Kenny Pickett comes in halfway, could have plug a spark because Trubisky sucks. He'll get benched soon. And I got the Ravens in 1st at 10-7.
10-7 Ravens, huh?
And I could see that getting to 11-12. They're always good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
it's a tough division too, though. That is a tough division. AFC North, their division battles are just always just battles. Those teams hate each other.
They really do. I mean, especially the Steelers and the Ravens. Yeah. And you can even throw the Bengals in that mix. The Browns, the Browns are kind of like the doormat.
Well, apparently, Jamar Chase, I saw was saying that the Browns talk the most shit, and that's why he wants Denzel Ward this year.
Really?
Yeah, he was saying they talk like crazy.
Man, it's probably not a very good time for Denzel Ward to talk smack if you're on the Browns right now. So, all right. AFC East, Zach Wilson injuries, brutal. The Jets, I know everyone thinks they drafted well, but I still don't think they're that team. I got them finishing in last place. The Pats, they could go either one way or they could be a complete disaster. This whole thing with making Matt Patricia and Joe Judge co-offensive coordinators is just so freaking weird, and seems like Belichick has just completely lost his mind.
Neither of them have been play callers. Patricia's been a defensive coach his whole
career. Right. It's it makes no sense. It's similar to Andy Reid bringing in or moving Juan Castillo from O-line to defensive coordinator. Just completely ridiculous. So I have the Pats finishing 3rd in that division. I actually think the Dolphins are going to be pretty decent this year. I have them in a playoff spot, I believe. No, I'm just missing the playoffs, but I have the Dolphins sort of breathing down the Bills' neck for that division in the AFC East. And of course, the Bills are going to come out on top in that one.
So I got the Dolphins going 6-11. I like the team they have around them. I like the McDaniel hire a lot. I just think Tua is just not
last place. Dolphins.
Yeah, 6-11. Wow. I just don't think Tua is it. And then I got the Patriots in 3rd at 8-9. The Jets in 2nd at 8-9. And then the Bills 14-3. So the Bills are the only team I have making the playoffs in the AFC East.
3. Wow. All right. Bills 14-3. Yeah, I'm about with you there on the Bills. I think they're probably. They might be the best team in the AFC.
I think they might be the best team in football.
Yeah. Very possible.
We'll
see. We'll find out a little bit tonight, even though it's only week 1.
Yeah.
All right. here comes the fun one. AFC West, baby. Man, someone's got to finish
got-
last in this
I
division.
got all 4 of these teams making the playoffs.
All right, let me hear what you got then.
All right, so I got the Raiders finishing last at 10-7.
Yep.
And then I got all 3 of the other ones finishing 12-5 with Denver first, just because I like their schedule the most.
Yeah, okay.
KC second, Chargers third, all 12-5.
KC second, Chargers third.
And all 4 of those teams getting the playoffs. And then the Jags, Ravens, and Bills, just the division winners for the other 3.
So I also picked the Raiders to finish last. I look at all 4 of those teams and look with the ridiculousness that's on the offense.
Crazy.
I think the team with the worst defense out of that bunch is the Raiders.
Yeah.
So that's playing a big
Crosby
part.
and Chandler
I think
Jones is a filthy pass rush duo. Though.
Yeah. Yep.
That division is just ridiculous.
It's unbelievable. So the Broncos do end up making the playoffs in my thingy here.
Okay.
But I do think that they might struggle a little bit more than some people think. I mean, like these are young playmakers on offense, right? And they're not, this isn't a veteran group that Russell Wilson is just kind of stepping into.
Yeah.
I know they have a pretty good defense, but they also have a young head coach too. So, there could be a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to the Broncos there. I had the Chargers finishing 2. This is tough, man. Between the Chargers and the Chiefs, I just can't get over the Patrick Mahomes effect and
I think
Big Red.
People are almost like sleeping on Mahomes at this point. Like, I was seeing people Allen Herbert as like who's the best quarterback. Like I still think it's
Patrick Mahomes. It's Mahomes, right? I think he's the best quarterback in football.
Yeah,
So I had the
agree.
Chiefs finishing number 1, Chargers finishing number 2. But man, that is just that's a freaking awesome division right there. All right, bump it over to the NFC. Start with the West here.
Okay.
I got Seattle finishing last. I think they could end up being one of the worst teams in football. They're in sort of a, one of those weird rebuilding phases where they still have some decent players there, but they're just in a brutally tough division, and they have no quarterback whatsoever.
Pete Carroll's kind of getting ready to retire.
Pete Carroll's on his way out. Then I have the Cards finishing 3rd. I think the Cardinals are kind of due for a bad season. What's his name? Is it Rondale Moore or Marquise?
Just hurt his hamstring.
Just hurt his hamstring. So he's going to be out for the Cardinals.
And Hopkins is suspended.
And DeAndre Hopkins is
J.J.
suspended
Watt
for the first 6
hurt.
games. Watt's always hurt. Mary's a little brat. And, I mean, I think Cliff Kingsbury's kind of a fraud. So I have the Cardinals kind of getting beat up in that tough division, finishing 3rd. The Rams, Super Bowl hangover, but not really. I still think they win a lot of games, but I just think the Niners are that much better. And they're going to win the West. So I had the Niners finishing
Kittle,
first.
Though. You see that Kittle?
Yeah.
Not looking good.
Not looking good. But I think Trey Lance is in a perfect situation this year to succeed. So I love the Niners.
So I went Seattle 3-14. I also think Arizona struggles this year, goes 8-9. Kingsbury gets canned.
Ooh,
missed playoffs.
like that.
And I got the Niners 10-7.
Okay.
I could see them just like absolutely popping off and being like the 1 seed.
Yeah.
I'm just still kind of not really that sold on Lance. Like I almost think Jimmy G might be better suited to run that offense. I think Lance maybe will try to do too much, which you don't have to do on that team. And then I got the Rams at 12-5. I just think McVay and Stafford was like a match made in heaven. And you have maybe the 2 best defensive players in the league on your team.
Yep. And what's with that? I mean, is Odell going to end up like signing with them again in December or something?
I think so. I think this dude. He's such a why have you not signed yet?
So annoying. I know that stuff pisses me off.
Probably because he was doing steroids to recover faster, so he's got to get that out of his system. It looks huge too.
Conspiracy.
It looks huge.
Conspiracy theory there by Matt. I like it. All right.
Fuck OBJ.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a big fan of it. Dork. All right. NFC North. I got the Lie guys finishing 4th. Look, the Bears are weird to me, dude. I like Justin Fields, but I don't like what they're doing to him because they brought in a defensive head coach, and
weapons are horrible.
And the weapons are just stinky. So, man, it's tough between the Bears and the Lions, but I still think the Lions have one of the worst rosters in football. So the Lions finishing last. Bears coming in 3rd. I do like the Vikings a little bit this year. I think that offense is going to be put up tons and tons of numbers, and we'll see what that defense looks like without Mike Zimmer back there. But I still think this is the Packers' division to lose, man.
Yep. Yeah, I got Bears 3-14 in last. I think they're one of the worst, if not worst, team in football. They're just their roster's terrible. They lost Khalil Mack and Allen Robinson, so they got worse. And Roquan Swift, I guess he kind of wants to be there, but also like kind of doesn't. Detroit 8-9 in 3rd, and I'm also high on the Vikings. I got them at 10-7. I like their week 1 odds against the Packers though at home.
I like that too.
Underdog at home, and the Vikings and Packers always play close games. They got Green Bay 12-5. I think Kirk Cousins is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in football. People like trash him like he's like trash.
Yeah,
like, he's pretty solid. If you look at his numbers, doesn't turn the ball over a lot. Usually he's around 28 to like 35 touchdowns. Last year, I think at one point he was like at 30-2.
Yeah.
Kind of slowed down as the year went on, but he was at one point was like 30 touchdowns, 2 picks.
He puts up good numbers. He's just not. He's not big
He
game
needs to
guy.
he needs to prove it in the moment. Yeah,
Not
for sure.
big game guy.
I think
Now,
this year could be a year he wins the playoff game or something like that.
Yeah.
I like the Vikings.
It
I
is
like their head coach too. I think
I like KOC. Yep. That's an interesting game though with the Packers there. Justin Jefferson going up against Jair Alexander.
Yeah, and Rodgers I feel like always shits the bed in week 1, and then he's like wants to tell people like
relax. Yeah, everyone chill. I was on Percocets. All right, NFC South, one of the other weaker divisions in football. Matt, you want to get started on this?
Yeah, so this is another one of my bold predictions. I have the Saints being a dumpster fire, finishing in last at 4-13. I'm not a Winston guy. I think that the whole team is just going to be a disaster because of it. I got the Falcons finishing 6-11. Think they're going to be a little bit better than people think.
Okay.
Kind of think Mariota has like a solid year running the ball. I kind of like Arthur Smith too for some weird reason. Panthers I got going 9-8. I just kind of think their schedule's kind of favorable. I don't have them making playoffs, so I have them missing still at 9-8. And then I think Baker a little bit of a bounce back year. Nothing great, but proves he can still play. Okay. And then Bucks 13-4. Just an easy schedule, stacks team. Maybe a little fall off from Brady I could see.
Yeah.
Maybe a little fall off with I don't think people realize Bruce Arians not being the head coach is kind of a big deal. Todd Bowles has not had success as a head coach. Granted, he maybe hasn't had a roster this talented. Yep. But I don't know.
They're missing some
13-4 still, but I think they lose in the playoffs first playoff game. I don't think they advance anywhere. And then I think
Brady retires.
Brady hangs it up.
All right.
I think he's gonna announce that he's hanging it up. Like he'll get asked at some point maybe through the season and casually just be like, "Yeah, this is good. This will be it." Because he's gonna be starting to play bad.
Yeah.
He kind of started to at the end of the year last year.
All signs.
And now he looks extra freaking plasticed up.
Dude, he looks not
Botox
in the game,
surgery.
man.
Yeah,
There's something weird going on with the family.
Scheduled 11 day. He said he was in the Bahamas, but that's just still weird. You're not locked in.
Yeah, that's not Brady.
He came back out of spite that Schefter released, and that's totally something Brady would do.
Yeah, and he seems like he's going to go down like the Brett Favre route. Just dude, you should have retired a year ago, or 2 years ago, or 5 years ago.
The thing about Brady too is if he sucks, he'll retire. He's not going to play.
Yeah, no, you're right, because he would.
That's probably what his inkling was. Oh my god, I still got it. I can't retire when I still got it.
We will see. I do. It was tough for me to come off the Bucs just because it's Brady.
They're just clearly the best team in that.
Yeah. I have the Falcons finishing in last place. Panthers finishing in third. I'm Baker is I think maybe he looks okay, but I'm just not a big Matt Rule guy. I think that kind of ends up in disaster down there. Yeah. So I have the Panthers finishing in third. The Saints. I'm one of those guys that's a little higher on the Saints this year. I took a long look at it. The defense is still really good. I know Jameis Winston throws a ton of interceptions, but he throws a lot of touchdowns too. Chris Olave, I love him as a rookie. Michael Thomas is still there. Alvin Kamara is probably not going to be suspended at all this season. They have offensive weapons. And it's a weak division and it's a weak conference. I could just see them racking up wins and ended up somehow in the playoffs. TK, I saw you grimace. Is there something going on in the Phillies game?
Marlins hit a homer.
Yeah.
Just 1-0. That's doable, fellas. That's okay. O'Connor is nothing. We beat up on O'Connor all the time.
Yeah,
the NFC East, baby. Man, this probably is one of the worst divisions in football too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I got the Giants finishing in last, even though I could very easily see the Commanders contending for that. That one was tough for me. Giants and Commanders at the bottom two. I have Cowboys too. I got the Birds winning the division, man.
Yeah,
and we'll get to their full record.
I won't do records for this one just because we'll do it for the Eagles. So I got the Giants.
Give me Giants, Washington, Cowboys.
Giants.
Record.
I got. Well, then if I give you the Cowboys, I'll give you Washington, New York. So I got the Giants finishing 4-13 in last. They suck. They're always a dumpster fire. Daniel Jones is trash. Then I got the Commies finishing 7-10 in third, and then Dallas in second, and us winning the division. So I don't want to say what I have Dallas at, because then that clearly puts Eagles at least.
Gotcha. Okay, so those are our winners. We got them written down, Matt. Of course, to be they'll be used against us at a later date, some point in the season when they go terribly wrong. Now, we have the division winners there. Mm-hmm. Who's going to be your 5, 6, and 7 out of the NFC?
Out of the NFC. So my 5 is going to be the Cowboys. I just think that they still have too much firepower on offense and talent on defense to miss the playoffs, especially with that many wild card teams now. Then I got the Vikings as the 6 and San Fran as the 7.
Ooh, okay. So I actually left the Cowboys out of the playoffs.
I could definitely see it.
To my great pleasure. The
NFC is just not that deep for me.
It's not. And I got to tell you, it felt really, really good doing that.
Yeah.
Really good doing that.
Feel
like
it would be feel even better if it actually came to
oh,
life.
and it'll feel even better.
Remember how much better it felt like after we got smacked by the Bucks when the Cowboys blew that to San Fran and
Yeah.
did a sneak on with no timeouts? That just made
Oh my
everything
God,
better.
just beautiful. And I'm not asking for NFC or championship matchups there, but it would also be nice if my prediction for the Eagles-Niners NFC championship game came true there.
I got a Rams-Eagles NFC championship.
Ramsey, oh wow, you got the Birds in the NFC championship.
Yep.
Nice.
And then I got Buffalo and Denver. And I got the Super Bowl Bills-Rams.
Bills Chargers. I have Niners Bills.
Bills.
Okay. All right.
Bills winning it
We're
all.
pretty close there, sir. So
Do you have the Bills winning it all as well?
I do.
Bills winning it
Yeah. All right. Now your AFC wildcard team, sir. 5, 6, and 7.
KC 5, Chargers 6, and Raiders 7.
There you go, man. That's the AFC West.
AFC West.
And Las Vegas. So my teams were I had Chargers 5. So we're both big AFC West fans. Broncos 6, and I got the Bengals going back in at 7. I think they just end up winning just enough, sneaking in. I think it's something's going to be weird with those like division tiebreakers or something like that between all 4 of those AFC West teams. I don't know, just something funky is going to happen, and who knows? Maybe one of them is not going to be as good as we all think. And I mean, if I had to put money down on someone, it would be the Raiders.
Yeah, it would have to be the Raiders. I think.
And you said you had Rams Bills in the
Super Bowl.
In the bowl, and you got the Bills. Yeah, we both got Bills, man. So all right, we're pretty close. So maybe we can we'll just laugh at ourselves by the end of the year when it comes to that.
Or we'll be like, told you so.
Yeah. Or we'll just call TK an idiot, even though he didn't even make any predictions.
What's your Super Bowl prediction, TK?
Yeah, definitely Buffalo
Yeah.
is representing the AFC. Did you hear that stat about Buffalo and like they are the highest? Forget I don't know how to word it, but as far as prediction for Super Bowl winners, they have their odds are the highest in the team in like 30 years.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that scares me.
Their roster is awesome.
Yeah,
but I think they're a juggernaut this year.
Yep.
I do too.
Yeah, wait till they get
Josh Allen's just going to be even better.
Yep.
Who do you got them playing, TK?
Probably the Rams. But if Hurts can just
turn it up a notch,
just a notch, man, just a notch. I could. I mean,
yeah. There you go. All right. So I know you gave wildcard teams, and you feel free to veer off of this if you so desire. I wanted to know if there's a team you could pick from each conference that missed the playoffs last year that has the best chance of making it this season. I think I should do us both a favor and take the Chargers off the board there.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we both
and I would say
obvious.
I would say Denver and Minnesota.
Denver and Minnesota. Okay. Yeah. I could definitely Denver. I think is one of the other probably obvious choice behind the Chargers. Minnesota's a good one too. I have the Saints and the Dolphins. Now, I didn't put the Dolphins in my wild card predictions, but I definitely could see them slipping in, and they definitely fit the qualifications of a team that missed last year. I did have the Broncos in the wild card, but the Dolphins, I think, are a good candidate for that. And the Saints as well, for all the other reasons that I just explained earlier. I think they might creep up on some people there. All right. Let's talk some Eagles-Lions, baby. I got a trivia question for you before I give you the injury matchup. Now, you might know this, so don't just shout it out. I want to give people in the comments an opportunity to answer this if they think they know it. Now, it's Lions trivia. I don't know how savvy you are on the Lions.
Well, I was a big Megatron fan growing up.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, the answer is not Megatron. I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
Since 2004, the Lions have had. This one might be a little easy too if you remember. Since 2004, the Lions have had just one running back rush for at least 1,000 yards. Do you know who it is? And you can get bonus points, which don't actually exist. And if you give me the year, you get those imaginary bonus points. So we'll give some people a little bit in the comment. You think you have an idea who it might be, Matt?
I feel like it's not recent.
I guess it depends on what your definition of recent is. So
I have a guess, but like,
okay, all right, we'll get your guess in get your guess in just a little bit. So
I feel like I remember seeing this stat like in the last few years, so that might mean though that it has to be someone in the last few years.
PK, you think you have an idea who it might be? Don't look at the sheet. You're using a cheat sheet. He's using a cheat sheet over there.
Yeah, it's on here. I can't answer the question. Yes.
Okay.
I was.
All right.
Didn't give me a chance.
TK's got a cheat sheet. Whatever. I get it.
Al's got him for everybody.
That's right. He does. Good for and we do appreciate Al doing that for us. All right. Well, we're in the mode of making projections here for the Eagles. Lots of new faces, Matt. But among the guys returning, who do you think takes the biggest step forward this season? You can say Hurts if you want.
No. I'm gonna say Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
Because I kind of think and everyone's AJ Brown, and this is no disrespect or like saying anything bad about AJ Brown. I think that it's neck and neck. Could be neck and neck who the best receiver on the team is. I think Devontae could be that good. That I think we have two receivers that are wide receiver ones. I think Devontae is going to be carving up corner twos this year. Going up against corner ones as a rookie, and now it's just going to get easier for him. I think Smitty's in for a big year.
I think Smitty's in for a big year too. So he was going to be one of my candidates. The other one, if I had to go on the other side of the ball, everyone's been talking up TJ Edwards.
TJ Edwards is someone I was thinking about too. Yeah. A lot of people are hyping up Epps, which I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I don't see it at all.
I don't either, but I mean, hell, if he does, he comes out of nowhere.
That'd be awesome.
Man, that would be a huge help. All right. Let me run you through the injury report here. We'll start with the Eagles. Our depth obviously took a little bit of a hit with Dillard needing surgery. That was part of the reason why I didn't want to trade Dillard to Dallas. I mean, because now if Mailata goes down, we're might be in a little bit of trouble there with the Raven Clark having to fill in, or maybe they slide Driscoll over. Who knows? But Dillard's going to need surgery. It looks like a 4 to 6 week recovery. Hopefully, we won't need him. Hargrave was limited. We'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully, he's a full go. Miles Sanders, full go. Great news, but the fact that he's already kind of on the report, not a good sign. I don't know. I brought this up the other day, Matt, but would you consider – I feel like Miles Sanders has gotten sort of like knocked down to the point of being underrated at this point. Like he's still like a 5-yard per carry rusher. And people talk about him like he just stinks. He doesn't stink.
Yeah, I kind of agree, but also like that 5 yards per carry is a little skewed, I think, because it's always one that's just 40 yards,
like 80
yards. He tries to hit the home run every time. He stopped doing that, and remember at the end of his rookie year when Jordan Howard got hurt?
Yeah,
and he started playing awesome.
He started running forward,
drilling the holes, and he was playing great. And I had high expectations for him going into the next year. I thought he was going to be like one of the best running backs in fantasy, and he just hasn't been it since. He really is looking for that home run every time, and it's all because he hits them a lot. Don't get me wrong, he bangs off some big runs, but you need that production. You need that six a clip, like legitimate 6 clip, not rush for 60 and 1 and then -2 and 1.
Sure do. All right, Lions injury report: starting right guard and familiar face, Super Bowl 52 champion Big V, Alapuli Vati Vaitai, I believe I got that one, went to the IR. First round rookie wide receiver Jamison Williams will not be available for the first 4 weeks of the season. He's still recovering from that ACL tear from last season. Defensive end Josh Paschal, second round rookie, they had high expectations for. He will start the season on the PUP list with core muscle surgery. And the other defensive end, Romeo Aquara, is also on the PUP list. He missed most of last season, but he had double-digit sacks for the Lions in 2020. So he was a guy they had high hopes for, too. He will not be playing. The only other notable one, Tommy Kramer, the backup guard to Vaitai. He hasn't practiced yet this week, so he could be out. That could be feast mode for Jordan Davis. And then starting center Frank Ragnow was also limited. So that interior line is beat up already. So Dan Campbell running that tough camp, maybe they came in a little too banged up for us. All right. Matchups, Matt. I feel like this one should be the easiest one of the season, right? Mm-hmm. Eagles run game versus the Lions run defense. How do you see this one shaking out? Eagles
run game.
I mean, we ran all over Detroit last year, right? And
I don't think there's anything that they have us beat in.
No, I don't think so either.
You could still lose a football game in that sense, but
ball just
on paper, we're just
if the ball doesn't bounce your way, then
on paper, we're miles better.
Yep. I think the only thing notable about that matchup is they drafted Aiden Hutchinson. I don't think he's really
going to have pass rush.
Yeah, he is, but he can defend the run too.
He's a big body for it.
I don't think he'll really have any effect this early on. I mean, we'll see. Knock on wood, hopefully, but I don't think he's going to make a notable.
Seems a little pro ready though.
Yeah. Yep. We'll see if Mailata can handle that young man.
I think he plays on the other end.
Does he?
Yeah,
and
so.
Lane. I mean, Lane does like Muay Thai. He's going to throw him around.
All
right. Our passing attack versus the Lions defense. I think the area to exploit here is probably going to be the Lions linebackers, right? Feeling a good game out of Goddard.
Yep.
I don't think we're missing anything there. Lions don't have any answers for our weapons, I don't think. Lions aren't totally bare on offense, though, in terms of weapons.
They got
do
some
have
good receivers and backs.
DeAndre Swift and St. Brown.
Jamison, I like Jamal Williams too. I mean, Jamison, I like Jamal Williams too.
Yep. So I mean,
Shark. I mean, he was good early in his career in Jacksonville.
Yep. I do think the Eagles now will have enough on defense to be able to.
I have high expectations for the Birds' defense this year.
Me too. Me too. And finally, the Lions' offensive line versus our new and improved defensive line. I think, given the injuries I just listed, this should be an easy one.
Goff's probably praying every night. He's probably getting nervous.
Would you set the sack number over under for our defense on Goff just for this one game?
I'll say 4.5. Okay. They get 5.
All right. I'll have you give me your winner as part of our game-by-game predictions here, Matt. So save the final score for the end of the show. But you're ready to run through the schedule here?
Let's do it.
All right. Week 1 at Detroit. What happens?
Win.
That's a dub? All right. I got a dub there as well. Week 2, I actually have us coming home to Minnesota, and unfortunately, I think we lose this one. Kirk Cousins just plays us well.
Nah, we're not losing the home movie.
No? Okay.
And I like the Vikings.
All right.
2-0.
2-0. I have us going to Washington and laying a smackdown on Carson Wentz and the commies. What do you think? Yeah?
3-0.
3-0. All right. I'm 2-1. You're 3-0. Jacksonville at home. Emotional game for both sides, Matt.
I think that's going to be a trap game that we lose.
Oh, no. We lose the Dougie P homecoming game.
It just seems like that's just exactly what will happen.
So I had my second loss of the season coming the next week against Arizona. I'm not as high on Arizona, but I just think traveling there is going to be a tough one
too.
Okay.
So 3-2.
All right.
For me so far.
So you're 3-2. And then I'm going to this game. This is going to be awesome. Sunday night, 8:20, we host the hated Dallas Cowboys.
We destroy the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, we're going to beat their ass, dude.
4-2.
I like that.
Not even close either.
TK just got excited. Like that. All right. Then we got the bye week, Matt. Week 8. Home versus either Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't see us losing.
I got a dub on that one too.
Dub. All right. Houston. Think we get
6-2.
upset by Houston. No. All right. You got another
a short
win.
Week too, right?
Yes, Thursday. Yep, that's a Thursday.
They're debuting their trash red helmets, I believe. That game.
Oh God, that's right, they are. Do we sweep the Commanders? We play them at home Monday night the next week.
I'm gonna say we split just because the division's tough.
Man. All right. So what do you got?
I got 6-3, I think.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, you are 6 and 3, sir. So
what are you at 6-3 as well, or 7?
I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 2.
Okay.
So 7-2, 6-3. I was taking an L at Indianapolis, though. How about you?
I think the Colts are gonna struggle this year. I like that for us.
You like a win?
Win there, yeah.
Okay, so we're both 7-3 now. I have us dropping 2 in a row actually, and this one's at home versus Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, we rarely beat Rodgers. I'm gonna take that one as an L.
All right. So I think we're both sitting at 7-4.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a respectable number right there. Then we go home, or we're staying home versus the number 1 seed in the AFC, Tennessee Titans, Matt.
That's a win.
Think we win? I think we win as well.
Tannehill ain't coming to Philly in a minute.
Yeah, actually, can I make a bold prediction? It's Malik Willis by then.
Okay, I can see that.
Sunday, December 11th, at the New York Giants. First time we play the Giants all season, man.
Win.
That's a win.
We're sweeping the Giants.
Yeah, all right.
We always do.
So I got your answer for the other one then.
Yep.
I got us beating the Chicago Bears, one of the worst teams in football. You got us that too. Dallas on Christmas Eve in Dallas, man. This is the third straight road game. I'm just gonna say we split, just because like we normally do with them. And then I have
us
finishing off. I've us losing to the Cowboys too.
Dallas,
yeah, I've split.
That's gonna be a tough one.
We're gonna be a real tough one. And then I have us winning versus the Saints.
Yep.
And the Giants to cap it off.
Yep. So we both at 12. Are we both at 12-5 there?
I'm at 12-5. I
believe that's
all
right.
right.
We're both
at 12-5, man. So there you have it. 12-5 for your Birds, and we win the division there. And Dallas's record, Matt, you were gonna say was?
I had them at 11-6.
11-6. Okay.
Just the schedule's weak for them.
Yeah. Makes sense here. All right. I'm going to give you the dumbass of the day in just 1 second here. First, Matt, did you have a guess for the trivia question?
I did. I have a guess, and then I have 2 backup guesses.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So make your first guess.
I want to say Reggie Bush.
It is Reggie Bush. Now, TK, did anyone in the comments get Reggie Bush?
Yeah, Matty B.
Matty B got Reggie Bush?
Yeah.
Was anyone able to guess the year?
The only reason I remembered that is because
Matty
I had
B
him.
said Kevin Jones in 04 and Reggie Bush in 2013.
Okay, we got the 04 one. He's trying to one up us. That's
I
cool.
had Reggie Bush in fantasy that year, and I remember that was the best year of his career.
Yeah.
That's why I came to mind. The other two I was going to say were Kerryon Johnson and Joik Bell.
Yeah. All right. Those are actually pretty good guesses too. Man, Kerryon Johnson. He actually just tweeted today that he has the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. I think.
Oh yeah.
So
let's go.
He's
not. He's out of the league, right?
I think so.
He was on the Birds last year,
I can't imagine he's on another team.
He was on the
right
Birds
now.
last year, right?
Yeah.
But he never really suited up.
Yeah. I can't imagine he's on another team tweeting about.
Yeah,
he thinks the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl.
He'd come to the locker room and pick the fuck.
Imagine if he's like with the Cowboys and he's like Birds winning it all. Like Jason Peters. God. All right. Let's do this here, Matt. Look, this is a fun segment that I have here. Stephen A. Smith is our dumbass of the day here, and TK, if you got a second, I'll let you know when to run this for our guys here. Now, I had to transcribe it for Matt, so Matt already knows what Stephen A. Smith said here, but I'm going to let you guys hear it in just a second. Now, yesterday, keep in mind this is yesterday. This is very important. Wednesday, yesterday, Stephen A. Smith had Chris Mad Dog Russo on First Take, as he does every Wednesday morning. And today's dumbass is not, in fact, Mr. Mad Dog Russo, who picked the Dallas Cowboys to not only win the NFC East, Matt, but to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Which is just asinine, if you ask me. No, he's not the dumbass of the day. He's not the subject. That honor goes to Stephen A. Smith, who probably won't be his last time featured in this segment here. But in my opinion, he rightfully opposed this just downright horrendous take by Mad Dog Russo, but in his reasoning for doing so, it was not as sound. Let's take a listen. My God.
Dude's a moron.
What a freaking complete idiot.
He makes millions of dollars a year to talk about sports.
That's what I was just going to say. I'm just wondering if the highest paid analyst in the history of media analysts had done any consideration, just consideration into making sure he knows what the hell he's talking about before he goes on the air. Just a thought. I mean,
that's just crazy.
There's multiple reasons that this is idiotic, and
He's
one
done
of them
multiple times too.
He has
said player like one time he said something about a player in the playoffs, and the dude didn't play the whole season, like he wasn't playing.
he's gotten ball sacked before by ball sack sports. I mean, the guy somebody's got to toss Stephen A. a quick bone here and just be like, dude, like, come on, like, do a little bit of research. Or like, hey, my favorite part of I think that clip is like the blank stare of Russo, just like, and like, I don't think he knows either, but you would think that he did with how he's just looking at him. Like,
it's amazing
is this
too.
guy the
Like,
biggest
where you
moron?
transcribe this for me, the first line is "Forgive him, America, for what he does not know."
Does not know. He's a freaking complete.
You're the one that doesn't know it, though.
Right,
Maton off the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, there you go. There are multiple reasons why this is idiotic. One being that Jalen Reagor just flat out stinks.
Yep.
He wasn't going to be our number 3 wide receiver. Yep. That was going to be Quez.
He doesn't even know who Quez Watkins is.
And 3, the guy's a freaking Minnesota Viking. Yep. He was traded last week. So, I mean, that's just
totally embarrassing.
Just so completely freaking ridiculous by Stephen A.
He probably didn't give a shit. He's bringing home that money.
That's right. He makes, I don't even know, an ungodly amount of millions of dollars there. So there you have that. Stephen A., the dumbass of the day. Like I said, probably not the last time he's going to be featured on this segment. Hopefully. I mean, I just love ripping Stephen A. Smith. All right. How about we'll do real quick. We'll go through we'll give our best bets of the week, or maybe throw some upsets out there. I don't want to go through every single game there because we're going to get out of here in 5 minutes. Give everyone a chance to get settled in and watch some Thursday night football here. What's the final score going to be for this Eagles-Lions game, Matt? Because I have a little bit of a declaration that I want to make here.
I'm going to go Birds win 28-20.
28-20.
Yep.
Okay. I got 41-10 Eagles. So I have the Eagles winning by 31 points. Wow. And this 4.5 point spread, by the way, is it's a sham. It's a joke. And I'm going to make a declaration right now that if the Eagles don't cover the spread, I'm going to come in next week and do the entire show with a clown nose on my nose the
If they don't
entire
cover
time.
the spread?
If they don't cover that 4.5.
Okay.
So they're not only going to win, but they're going to win by 4.5.
I like it.
And
Okay.
you got it. So also, I noticed, Matt, could you hand me that transcription there real quick? Because I know some people, I think I saw in the comments, somebody said that they did not, they didn't get sound on that clip.
Kelly Quinn.
So, okay.
Kyle's mom.
that would be my mother.
Okay.
So
Quinn.
forgive me, mother, for the technical issue there. So Stephen A. Smith had Chris Russo on yesterday, and Chris Russo picked the Cowboys to win to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Stephen A. says, quote, "Forgive him, America, for what he does not know. You are wrong on so many levels. First of all, let's look at the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, Jalen Hurts has a lot to prove. Okay, nothing wrong there, right? There's no doubt about it. They go where he takes them. Then you acquire A.J. Brown and put him with Devontae Smith. All right, you got that going on. Right on the money, Stephen A. Here's where it goes off the rails. Quote, Rager has got something to prove this year. The three of them, it's a great, great thing. You got God in the tight end spot. This is a good thing. Key phrase here. Rager has got something to prove. Jalen Rager was traded last week, and he was talking yesterday as though Rager was still a Philadelphia Eagle. So there you have it. Stephen A., dumbass of the day. All right, Matt.
DAD of the week.
DAD, a dumbass of the day, of the week, of the month, of
For
Bird's IQ for us. All right. Sundays slate. What's your best bet for tonight, Matt? You got a touchdown scorer prop for us?
I'm taking Josh Allen first touchdown. I'm just going to put like $5 on it. But my favorite bet of the night is no doubt Cooper Kupp over 7.5 catches. It's at like -110. He covered that in 10 of 17 games last year. Then in 5 of them, he had 7. Then 1 at 6, 1 at 5. So I think that's a favorable number. I think that they're kind of going week 1. They kind of get the feel out. They go lower. Like last year, Kupp was getting set at 8.5, 9.5. Okay. He's catching 8 balls tonight.
So I was saying before the show, I love the Bills in this game, and it's more so because I'm just looking at it. It's week 1, and really when it comes to week 1, I'm sort of just going off of what I feel like the odds makers are trying to tell me here. It's just weird that the Rams opening the season at home would be underdogs to the Buffalo Bills. I feel like that's kind of like I'm like doing double reverse psychology on myself here by saying, that's them saying, go ahead, take the Rams. Maybe it's them saying, go ahead, take the Bills.
Teams pay attention to that? Like, do you think McVay's like, they got us fucking losing?
Maybe. Yeah, it's very possible. I think some guys would use his motivation. I know there's a famous clip from the 2004 Super Bowl where Bill Belichick got the Eagles parade route, the planned parade route.
Oh, yeah.
And he showed it to the team. He's like, they're going to go up Broad Street, all this and that. And they're like, you're going to let this happen? Like, they already got the parade route planned. I'm like, damn, that's kind of sick. But that pisses me off so much.
I can't even lie.
It is.
I hate
it. Yeah, he's a mastermind.
Yep, he is. All right. So, Matt, you want to take a minute or two? Just give me 1 or 2 of your favorite locks for the week here.
I mean,
just give me straight up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we both talked about. I like the Patriots plus 3.5 on the road. Not that high on the Dolphins. I'm not that high on either, but I just if you're giving Belichick 3 points at an AFC East opponent, that's not the Bills. I'm gonna take it. Another one I would look at. I would say look for an upset alert with the Falcons at home against the Saints.
Okay, I like that. I have the Ravens blowing the doors off of the Jets. I think they come out hot. No, it's not going to be a revenge game for Joe Flacco. No, I don't think that's going to be the case. I agree with you that I think the Pats could either cover that or win that game outright against Miami. So I think those would probably be my 2 best bets of the week there. But, it's week 1 and probably the toughest week to bet, either this one or week 2, when you don't know if what you saw in week 1 is real or, so, but
I got a opening night over under for you.
What's that?
Over under how many broken tables are in the Ram Stadium's parking lot after the Bills fans tailgate?
11-6.
11-6.
No, I mean, man, shit.
I'm gonna go over under 10. I'm gonna go over.
If you saw the images or the videos from outside that stadium, there are a ton of Bills fans. I'm wondering if the Rams are going to get booed on their banner night. That would be legendary, but not in a good way for the Rams. It'd be pretty funny though, if you ask me. All right. That's going to do it for the show today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, commenting along, listening as always. Cannot wait to watch football in about 30 minutes time. And then, of
Yes,
course, we'll have an Eagles game to talk about, hopefully an Eagles win to talk about when we join you again next Thursday. So with that being said, for Matt Quinn, for Tom Kelly producing the program today, I am Kyle Quinn saying so long, and let's go Eagles.
Go Birds.